Tor Holloman right here in the building, man. You have several three-pointers doing your thing. Talk about what it meant to kind of be the backbone of your team down the stretch of this game.
You know, shout out to my like teammates and coaches for just trusting me to like make those shots and then just get like stops, come in, push the ball, and man, it was a great team win. So.
How do you kind of slow down the pace with those shots? The pace is up and down, back and forth. It seems you kind of have a calm and presence when you get those shots up. What are you thinking about when you take those shots?
Just like all the like work that I like put in and stuff, and then just like reps, man. I like shoot every day, so and just going up there. Routine and then they just fell. So
yeah, great. Thanks so much, man. Keep it up.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
What changed in that? The second half momentum just really got on your guys' side. What changed in that second half that made you guys kind of feel that momentum?
Clean stops, and then rebounding. We got some stops, and then we got out in transition, and then because they like crash the boards hard, so like we got some clean stops, some clean rebounds, and then we just got on and ran.
When you, how fast do you turn the page after a win like this? I mean, it's the NCAA tournament. You guys play again in 2 days, and you know who you're playing. So how fast do you put this behind you and already look ahead?
When we shower, we're gonna go back to the hotel, and then we're gonna go and watch some film. Right now, that's what Coach said. So man, whatever it takes to win.
Be a late night for you guys.
Yeah, man, late night, man. But hey, we're like built for it. So.
A lot of Michigan State fans in the crowd. Not surprising, given that it's not too far of a drive from Michigan. But what did the crowd do for you guys? It was tight in the first half, and then you guys pulled away in the second. So did the crowd help in that?
Oh yeah, for sure, man. The crowd feeds off of us. So we like started getting stops, and then we started making shots, and then the crowd got louder and louder. So. And shout out our like fans.
Good. What changed in that second half? I mean, it was pretty tight the first half, and things really took over for you guys in the second. So what helped you guys get that momentum?
Yeah, I think a big thing that changed in the second half was our offensive rebounds. We had 5 at halftime, and we finished with 21. So, I think that helped a lot. And then, we finally kept getting more stops on the defensive end.
I asked Trey about this as well, but a lot of green and white in the crowd, given it's a short drive from Michigan there. And does the crowd help you in that scenario, and what was it like playing in front of them?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they help a lot. It sucks to say, but when you need a little lift and you can, turn around and get the crowd going just by waving your hands up and down, that's big for us. But we don't want to have that happen. We want to feed their energy. So they're a big help to us for sure.
No win can be taken for granted in the NCAA tournament. How happy are you just to be moving on?
Oh yeah, I'm extremely happy. I think we finished the game on a high note. So stuff to carry over to the next game, and the next game is going to be hard, but I think we're built for it.
Speaking of the next game, Trey said you guys are watching film tonight still. You got some coffee with you or no?
Man, I think the adrenaline won't wear off till about 3 a.m., so I think we'll be good.
Thanks, Frank.
They might have not wanted to have out there, especially defensively and the rebounding wise. But we just continue to play with our personnel, play within ourselves, like we didn't do as well in the first half, and we did that in the second half. I think that showed. Thank you.
You guys really grabbed momentum in the second half. What changed for you guys at halftime?
I mean, we just kind of got a jolt from coach, and we got a good chewing from the coaches, and kind of just a jolt that to tell us that we weren't playing Michigan State basketball. We were kind of letting them stay in it and not playing within ourselves, but not really being too aggressive and kind of showing them that they don't deserve to really play with us, and it's a whole different level. So that was pretty much the halftime message was, it's win or go home time. Everyone knows that. So we didn't want to let our seniors go out that way, and we knew that certain players had to play good, especially myself, me, Jaden. But yeah, Cohen had a great first half to keep us in it.
You mentioned it. It's win or go home. No game is guaranteed. So how happy are you just to be moving on in this tournament?
Yeah, it's amazing. I think that every game that we can move on is nice, especially for some of the young guys with the experience that it brings. I think that's one thing that I can bring to this team as well. But, it's nice to, kind of like I said, kind of get our feet wet with the atmosphere and with the ball and with the rim and all that. Getting used to that is huge. And now we have, kind of have a good sense of how it's going to be in the future. So.
You mentioned the atmosphere, a lot of green and white. It wasn't a surprise given a short drive from Michigan, but how much does that help you, especially in a game that is supposed to be neutral site and it feels anything but it?
Yeah, it's awesome. I think we have some of the best fans in the country. I think, if we were out in L.A. or we were out in Washington or somewhere, it'd be kind of be the same result. But ultimately, having the Cleveland draw is great to have, a lot of guys drive out and all that. It's awesome. And fans, yeah, they do have a good impact, especially when you have, Cohen that can make big plays and especially get the fans on their feet and continue to give us the impact and help us go on runs. So then it's tougher for them to kind of stop us.
Were you able to have some family and friends come down from Jackson for this one?
Yeah, of course. I think it was awesome. I got, my family coming out, girlfriend, aunt and uncle and all that, so it was awesome.
When you think about the tournament, obviously everyone has aspirations of making a deep run. Does this team have what it takes?
Yeah, I think so. I think in the first half, if we can really look at that, learn from that tonight and maybe tomorrow, and kind of minimize some of the things that we can do because you play better teams from here on out. So if you can minimize that, that's gonna be the make or break for us.
Trey said you guys are already turning the page tonight, watching film and looking ahead to New Mexico. Yeah. You got coffee on you, or are you going to be okay making it till what? It might be 3 a.m. by the time you guys do that.
Yeah, I think all of us know what that entails. I think everyone's here buying into the the run that we want to go on, and whatever it takes to win is going to be we'll stay up until 4 or 5 if it takes. But we trust the coach's experience. Coach knows what it takes to get deep in this tournament, and we're just going to trust him and allow him to get us there. Thank you.
Thanks, Carson. No game is guaranteed in the NCAA tournament. Let's just start with how happy are you to be moving on?
Very happy. I mean, I want to extend my career as long as I can, and winning that game is gonna help me do that. So I'm just happy.
Second half momentum really got on your side. I mean, you had a couple big plays, and other players stepped up as well. What changed at halftime to really make that second half totally different from the first?
Just our intensity on defense. I feel like we really cracked down, got some rebounds, was able to get out and run, and just go from there.
A lot of green and white in the crowd. Not really surprising. Michigan State has a big fan base, but what does that do for you guys, especially when you start making that run and it gets loud in that arena?
It does a lot for us. I feel like, it gives like home game vibes when we hear go green, go white in there. So it just propels us and helps us.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Jade. Well, let's talk about it. First experience in the NCAA tournament. Just describe what it was like out there.
I think first half it wasn't the best experience for me. I think we kind of came out sloppy. They were playing harder than us. Second half, that's the experience I want to have, where our team's flowing. We're playing amazing offense, amazing defense. We're getting an offensive board. Cohen has a game like he does. I think just what we played second half is Michigan State basketball, and we got to continue to play like that.
What did change at halftime to switch momentum so much into your favor? I mean, you guys had the lead, but it was close in the first half, and then everything kind of changed in that second half.
I think they were just playing harder than us. To be honest with you, they were punking us. They were getting shots that they wanted to get. Second half, I think we made it a little tougher for them to get the shots that they wanted. Cohen, I think, kept us afloat the whole first half, so that was huge for us. And then we kind of just fed off that energy that he was given.
Not a surprise with a lot of green and white in the crowd, and it's not too far from Michigan. But does it help you guys, especially when you're making a run in that second half and it kind of feels like a game at the Breslin?
Oh, for sure. When you get on runs like that, you can get the crowd going. It's what you need in a tournament like this. That crowd can pick you up, so it does a lot. So we really just got to keep the crowd in it for every game we play in.
When you talk about the runs that you guys went on, when you talk about the runs that you guys went on, what point in the second half did you feel like you guys were firmly in control finally?
I think when Jaden and Jeremy knocked down those back-to-back shots, I think those back-to-back threes did a lot for us. We kind of came in the huddle talking about this is what we got to build off of, and I felt like we kind of just took off from there.
Any lesson that you're going to take away from your first NCAA tournament game in general?
Just come out playing harder. I think we got to play a lot harder. New Mexico's a really tough team to play against. They got length, they got size, they got some great guards, so we know we got to play super hard.
Trey said you guys are going to turn the page even tonight. You're going to go back to the hotel and watch film. You got some coffee with you? You're going to have some, I don't know, some caffeine of some sort, or how are you going to get through that?
Yeah, coach doesn't care what time it is. We're going to work, so definitely got to get my mind prepared mentally, maybe take a couple 5-hour energies or something, stay awake for this. So be ready for that.
Thanks.
Of course.
Be the guy to get here. Does that ever come through where you realize, like, got to get aggressive, got to be the guy that kind of takes you back to maybe the basics?
No, not for real. Just like the type of player I've always been is, just do whatever I need to do to win, whether that's passing, scoring, whatever my role is. Just trying to, maximize my role. So I don't really look at it as, whether it's points or assists or still. So just like if that happens, it kind of happens. But at the same time, just go out and play as hard as I can. Try to do everything on the court.
Is that part of that strength of the numbers kind of mentality that you guys have?
I definitely think because you're able to give 110%. You know it's going to be a sub coming in. You know it's going to be a fresh guy. You're not really worried about anything.
Jeremy, what switched for you guys in that second half? Momentum really got on your side there.
Definitely, I think Jaden 3, and then the open 3 I had made, and then we kind of started getting some stops, started running more in transition, and we had 21 offensive rebounds, so that was huge. And just, the bigs giving us second chance opportunities and Cohen. So it was just huge for us. Obviously we didn't make every shot, but just getting more shots just helps a lot.
What was Coach's message at halftime, to get you guys going?
Obviously he was kind of calm, like seeing him, a little bit. But just the fact that, they're playing tougher than us. They're playing harder than us, and we need to pick it up. So we try to come out second half and turn it up a little bit.
Can't take any game for granted in this tournament. So just how excited are you to be moving on in general?
Excited. It's a lot of teams today and yesterday that went home, and to still be one of the teams still standing and being able to play another game is just happy and grateful, and that the goal is to keep winning.
Last year you didn't have a chance to play in this tournament. You had somewhat of an experience around it, but you didn't get a chance to play. So what was it like playing in your first NCAA tournament?
It was great. Obviously to get a win and to play with the guys, kind of a whole different group. Still continuing and just great environment, great arena. Just happy to be here.
Do you feel like you guys are getting better at three-point shooting? I mean, is it just one of those things that it just starts clicking in the right time of the year?
I definitely think we didn't really have a problem with three-point shooting, besides that early stretch. Lately, we have been, making a lot of shots and making threes. But at the same time, I think, when we get open looks, we get more confident, less thinking, just playing and just knock the shot down.
What can you say about Cohen? 18 points, 9 rebounds. I mean, career highs on the biggest stage possible, and kind of provided the spark that you guys needed at the right time.
Just the fact that he should have had 22 points and maybe a double-double. He missed one of my drop-offs off the layup, and he missed a lob. We're going to talk about that later. But other than that now, but he was great today. Just to strengthen numbers and to be different. He came out and he brought us a spark, some energy when we needed it. So just can't really complain, and that's the best about Michigan State. You never know who night it might be, and it's something hard to scout for and do when you never know who day it might be.
He kind of led the bench tonight, but then you had Trey who had a great performance. You had